No, that's.
Cindy's still in control.
Yeah, we've been so chill.
That's why she wanted that seat.
Yep.
Good evening, Littleton. Welcome to a special Board of Selectmen, Select Board meeting, Monday, July 26th, 2021, 6 PM. We have a single agenda item tonight, and our agenda will involve organization, which includes Pledge of Allegiance. We'll then enter into a joint meeting with the Council on Aging Board, and that'll happen about 6:05. And then after we take care of our business, which is a confirmation of appointment and interview of our Elder and Human Services Director, and then we'll look at adjourning somewhere around 6:30. So I will ask the clerk to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Matthew. So the Select Board meeting is open, and I just turn it over to Marge Payne, the Chair of
Thank you.
COA.
We will open our meeting, and thank you, everybody, for having us to begin with. This is a nice event. It doesn't happen that often. So, anyway, and we have a quorum. We're set to go. And the group there were 3 of us that served on the search committee for a new EHS director. And so the 4 people that are here with us tonight did not get to ask the candidate any questions. And so they have, each one of them has one question they'd like to ask, and then we will proceed.
Great.
So,
I'll ask if Mr. Ansaldi can kind of just give us some direction as to the procedure.
So Marge stole my thunder a little bit with, so that's okay, Marge. All right, so I just wanted to go over the MOA between the Select Board and the Council on Aging Board. It's the section, the Town Administrator. Town Administrator appointed director subject to approval of the COA and the Select Board. There'll be a search committee convened by the Town Administrator with representation from the COA. So as Marge said, on that committee was actually Matthew Nordhaus, our Select Board representative, myself, Joe Layden, Jennifer Dever Wood, Marge Payne, David Sill, and, Gary, and my resident expert, Gary Wilson.
It's easy to miss.
The finalists will be brought to the full COA board for an interview, which they'll have their 4 questions, and they'll make a recommendation to the town administrator. Then I'll be looking for the select board at that point to reaffirm or confirm the appointment of Liz Trediak as our Director of Elder and Human Services.
great. Susan is first, thank you.
Liz, what? Keep recording?
When you get ready. All right, when.
Hi, ma'am.
So just want to do a little introduction, just welcome back, or?
Yeah, you can say something
So,
first.
yeah, so.
It's part of the first question, too, kind of that part.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just for the huge listening audience, we want to just welcome back Liz Trediak as this opportunity to get back, similar to bringing back Mr. Ansaldi. The opportunity has presented itself, and we have the fortune, blessed with the opportunity to have Liz come back and be our director again.
Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, you've got 4 folks to ask questions, and
I get the first question.
Okay.
And the beginning part of the question explains some of the process that we just went through. So I guess we'll just kick it off by asking you to explain why you've chosen to come back to Littleton.
Sure. I love Littleton. I love this community. I love the residents. The EHS staff is second to none. They're fantastic. I always had a good working relationship with the different boards and the committees. I really did enjoy all of my time here. I feel very invested in the senior center building project. I've kept up with the ongoing things in the department, even in my departure. I watched the COA board meetings, the town meeting, cheered Marge on as she got up and spoke. But I feel invested in this community. And I do need to explain why I did leave. I think that's appropriate for me to do now. Back in early 2020, I was contacted by a municipal recruiter who I respect very much. And they let me know there was this opportunity that was very close to home. They had an excellent compensation package. And at that time, that point in time, I felt like it was best for my family for me to explore that opportunity. So I did, and it's been a great experience. I have learned a lot. I've been successful, but my heart is here in Littleton. And that's why I'm standing here right now.
Thank you.
Okay, and I have question 2. Elder and Human Services is committed to provide services to not just elders, but to all groups in the entire town. How would you cater some programs towards younger residents to increase and expand participation? And what kind of marketing strategies would you use to reach out to this population?
It's a long question.
Yes.
Several parts.
There's only 4 questions, which is 15 parts to get.
Hopefully, Anita.
So, throughout my career, I've always been in human services and the helping profession, and I've always loved helping people. While most of my experience is concentrated in older adults and geriatrics, I have done some substantial work in people who are under age 60. That being said, I think that there's lots of different ways that we can cater to people who are under 60, and that is meeting people where they're at, getting a gauge, the temperature of the community. What are people looking for? What are they interested in? What are some of the concerns of the community, and how do we reach out and address those concerns? So the programming for a group under 60 is more, I would say, sometimes more focused on a social service aspect, which we have a great social services team here, so that is no issue whatsoever. But doing the under 60 is no problem. And the second part of that question was marketing, I believe. Yes. So part of the experience I just had at my community I'm in now is creating a whole new strategic plan and rebranding campaign, part of which was getting our marketing more up to speed and reaching the age populations that we want. And part of that was reaching age 40s and 50s, because that is our future clientele, that's our future patronage there. So part of that was meeting those people where they're at, and a lot of times that is on social media, that's on Facebook, that's different medium than just your standard typical paper newsletter. So if you can find those people, meet them where they're at. Like Marge, that time we went to the football game, and we met, we did our table there. Yep, Anita, you were there, and Susan, and we marketed ourselves to that age range, because there's parents there at the football game who might be home and caring for their parents, looking for resources for their parents, or thinking of a child who is experiencing a struggle with addiction, and here we are having resources to be able to help them and guide them on that struggle. So that's part of the marketing.
I have number 3. You thought hers was long?
Get a
Should I
pen.
take notes?
A place to expand space for the seniors, elders, is a priority for us in Littleton. We currently are at the beginning phase, exploring possible construction of a new building behind Town Hall, and are in the feasibility study stage. Once that is finished, we have the funds to move forward into the design phase, with an anticipated goal of returning to spring 2022 town meeting to request construction funding. Please share with us how you might help us accomplish this goal, taking into consideration possible new COVID-19 restrictions And if you could just be as specific as possible.
So to summarize, the question is how to help see the senior center building come to fruition despite COVID potential resurge. I think over the past year and a half, everyone in this field has had to get really very adept at virtual communication and skills of how to reach people virtually, just not in person. So setting up Zooms and meetings and Google Meets, things like that, meeting outdoors, that's a great way to reach people. I think we really would need to make people more aware than they already are of what it is we do here. That we have programs for seniors. We have programs for people under the age 60. We have the great LCAA under our in our wheelhouse. We have this wealth of resources that we can help the entire community with that I just don't think everyone knows is there. So a massive media campaign would probably be in order. Getting into the newspaper, getting on cable every chance you can, getting out on social media, meeting people where they're at the football games, at the library, going to different boards and committees and explaining what it is we're doing, what we hope to accomplish, and why we think it'll be beneficial to the entire community, not just the senior population, even though that is main part of our focus, but we have so much more to offer. And I think once people see the depth and the breadth of what we can offer them, it'll be much easier sell.
Mine is very short. Okay? Another need here in Littleton is to help gain a variety of affordable housing for seniors. The COA board is committed to helping achieve this goal. How would you anticipate working with us to accomplish this?
Sure. Just recently, the Massachusetts Councils on Aging Association, that is our state organization that all councils on aging belong to, asked me to serve on their legislative housing task force to keep an eye on the legislation that's coming through to make housing more accessible to seniors, and not just affordable housing, but also the rental assistance programs and the mortgage assistance programs, and even tweaking senior tax work-off programs and the veterans tax work-off programs as well. So being a part of that, we can stay on top of the legislation and make sure that we are advocating with our legislators here for things that would benefit our community, raising awareness and really seeing what it is that our community is looking for in terms of housing. Is it just that they want more options, or is it that they need programs that'll help them age in place?
That's it. I think that's all of our questions.
Do you have any questions for us?
Do you, that's right, that is on there too. Thank you. Do you have any questions for us?
I think I asked most of my questions in the initial interview round, but I am curious now, what do you foresee the affordable housing path looking like?
A lot of years to get there. We've come a long way, I think, though, in town. We really do have. And we have, the Affordable Housing Trust is up and running smoothly and well, and, you know, the planning board is really working hard, you know, to come up with some plans, but it takes so long. I think people get frustrated. I know I do when I think about how long it's going to take to see some of this happen.
Right.
So, but we're still on it. We know it's a huge need, and actually those 4 questions kind of summed up what we as a board feel are the primary issues that we need to be, you know, helping out with. So.
Yeah.
I think what you mentioned about, you know, addressing it not just from the housing perspective, but the really looking hard at the tax write-off program and different work programs, and maybe even outside the box in that area.
Yeah.
What are other things to keep people in place for those that want to, maybe that they don't want to downsize, or maybe making it easier to live with family members and things. So I think there's a lot more than just the standard affordable housing. I think it's much greater than that, for sure.
Yes.
And Littleton is light years ahead of the game with the rental assistance program and the mortgage assistance program. That's really definitely forward thinking here.
Thank you. Any other questions for us? No? Okay. Okay, so we can entertain a motion. Somebody, David, would you like to?
Yes, yes. I move that the Council on Aging recommends Liz Trediak for the position of Director of Elder and Human Services to the Town Administrator.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ann Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Well, I think the ayes all have it.
All right. Bring it back to the select board then. Thank you very much.
We will adjourn our meeting. Could we just officially adjourn our formal meeting?
Certainly.
So, somebody make that motion,
Make
please?
a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Thank you. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
No more deliberation.
No.
All right, so next up is any discussions we might have before we move on to our own motion to recommend or affirm, confirm and affirm the motion that's before us and the selection by the town administrator. Any questions of Ms. Trediak?
No, I had the pleasure of working on the board with Liz. Know her talents, and she can certainly appreciate that. Not really keen on bringing people back, because look what happened to Westwood.
You think we'd learn?
I'm just happy to get back.
We spoke during your interview. You were clearly the best candidate by a mile. Welcome.
Just welcome back, Liz. Happy to see you standing here before us, sincerely. Timing's everything, and this is perfect timing. You hit all the points, concerns that we've had as a board, discussions that we've had as far as the COA, the Senior Center project, marketing, outreach, really just educating the public. Everything that you spoke to today is spot on with what we're hoping to achieve. And so it's welcomed. We're very happy to have you back in this role again.
Back to me. Clearly, I'm excited to have you back as well, and I'm usually rambling on, and I can't even come up with words. I'm just very excited. One of the things that you just hit in the last question relative to programs, not necessarily building the housing and having that kind of control, but the programmatic approach to that, I think, to Gary's point, is a good one. I just had a kind of an informal meeting with Kathy Miller, Mr. Glavy, myself, and Pete Barbella from the Assessors Board, and we're looking at a lot of those, maybe something like the Sudbury plan. Westford just passed a plan. We don't have any data on that yet because it's just going into play now. But we, as a board, very much want to offer more assistance than we already do. And I think you're right. We are kind of ahead of the curve, and you'll see that more and more as you're meeting with the legislators and other communities and that kind of thing. So I'm excited at the opportunity to work together to whether it's expanding TRED with the assistance of Kathy Miller, and I think just with the team being built, I think there's going to be fewer silos, and there's going to be just more opportunity for cross-pollination and different department heads working together, and I think that's kind of a testament to you and that whole team approach, and we certainly are excited about having you on board, helping us, helping to guide us and give us some input and being that conduit to the community that you serve. So with that, I'll stop rambling, and I'll ask the clerk if you would bless us with a motion.
I move that the Select Board vote to confirm the appointment by the Town Administrator of Ms. Liz Trediak for the position of Director of Elder and Human Services for the Town of Littleton.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded by Ms. Napoli. That's for you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Now you know, yeah. What's he, is he pointing to me? Excellent.
First of all, I don't take off my lapel pin for just anybody, but.
Welcome back, Liz.
Is it kosher to shake hands
Yes.
now?
I'm okay if you're okay.
Thank you so much.
Fully vaccinated.
Liz, I just need a signature. Liz. This is your
Wait your
appoint-
turn,
this is your
Sue.
appointment letter. I'll give you a
We got some
copy.
stuff going on up here
Sign
still.
that before he leaves today.
I'm doing it now.
You want to come up front and take a picture?
Yeah.
Making me nervous.
Right?
Perfect. 50% of the salary goes to new senior center project.
Find it great.
Great. And we're gonna get a picture too.
Is it official now?
It's official.
Wait, it's
the ink
official
dry?
until I put
Signed.
my little helmet on.
Take a picture for the broadcaster?
Yeah. Nicole is our official photographer.
Sorry, you want to do it again, Gary?
You got it?
You all right?
No, I got it.
Okay, all right, good. Yay!
All right. Welcome home.
Yeah, we have to adjourn.
So about that taco thing,
Anything else?
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Motion was made by Mr. Nordhaus, seconded by Mr. Knox to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.